surprisingly. Yeah, here we are. Vishy is looking at the monitor. He's following. He's
Maybe
following some
Carlsen's
other game.
game.
Yeah, maybe the game of Magnus Carlsen. Does it mean that he's so happy with his own position? Look, that's the position for Anand and Grischuk's bishop being seriously misplaced. The dark square bishop on a7. So that's an interesting situation. The two bishops versus two knights, right? So first on move 7 after a6. On move 8, Vishy has taken one knight on c6, doubling those pawns. I think once again that's a theoretical position over here. And Grischuk went for c5 and rook e8, getting some sort of a Benoni structure, I would say, if the bishop would be on g7. But not there. Then finally that's what we have. Bishop on a7 is not actually a piece you're happy about. But of course it's also not easy for white to go through. It's like you have very nice looking position and everything, but you know, is that finished already? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's a draw for Artemi Van Carlsen. It's a draw for Artemi Van Carlsen. And some
19 years old,
discussion. Yeah.
Artemi managed to make a draw with any difficulties, honestly.
Yeah, but once again, why would he have difficulties if he was playing with the white, went for a safe line, and you know was just playing good moves? It was a bit on Carlsen, let's say, who decided not to take you know extra risks. So he didn't play his g6 on move 1 or something of that kind, but he went for a fair opening e5. Same way he was playing against
Yeah,
Federer.
actually, that's right.
Same way he was playing against Federer, and it was almost a draw, right? Not quite a draw, but almost a draw. Okay, so that's the position for Vishy and Alexander Grischuk. Both playing, well, I'd say Vishy plays reasonably fast, but Grischuk is down to less than 3 minutes now.
He's on his style, let's say.
King G's and the moves he's making, I'm not really sure about. It feels like he doesn't know what to do. On the other hand, if we are to think what white can do here, it's also not that clear, because if you open the position, you are actually helping the side with the bishops, right? Rook to d1, so protecting the d5 pawn, apparently preparing for e4, e5, which is like the most natural way to open the position up. Not sure what Alexander Grischuk is going to do. Now, I do understand how unpleasant it is, because, you know, e4, e5 is coming. Then if black takes, white takes with the knight, and then at the very least he can put the knight on c6, so this bishop will have no moves whatsoever. And it's white to decide when he wants to play e5, so he can first, for instance, get the pawn all the way to a5. And only then, yeah, I think it's a very unpleasant position for Grischuk, and the fact that he has less time, it only shows how unpleasant it is. Last move being rook d1. Can we have an image of a clock? I'm just wondering, because, well, the official scoreboard says it's almost 3 minutes for Grischuk, and the feeling is like it is less. Yeah, 1:30.
It's 1:30.
1:30, and that's obviously the position where you need your time. Not that I can see any active possibilities for black.
Can this knight jump to c6 first?
From a4, knight from a4 to
Yeah.
c6. From c4 to c6. Yes, this is also a good idea. Knight a5, knight c6, and only
Another
then.
knight can come on d2, c4.
Yeah, that's
And this bishop is just killed there.
Yeah, bishop from a7 feels like it won't escape it. No, but knight a5. If you go knight a5, it's c4.
c4,
of course,
yeah.
Of course, c4. and maybe it's not possible to manage. Like, yeah, because you might
Everything
want like
is-
to
It's
move
possible
and then
to
go
play
knight
first
a5.
knight f2, rook d3.
But then
and
e4 is
but-
hanging. Yeah, no, I feel like he's preparing for e5 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's better to keep this one on c4. In some positions, you know, c4 was just giving away the pawn for black. As playing c4 and not winning the pawn back might be a good idea.
While they are thinking, maybe we can jump to the board 5, where Wang Hao has a good chances to catch the leader.
Wang Hao against Lia Quangliem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see. Now, Grischuk has played queen to g6, attacking e4 pawn, and no, Vishy doesn't go for e5.
He's preparing for that.
Yeah, well, repeat it. Well, just quickly, if he... no, Vishy has a lot of time, yes, so he will...
And
now
I can
he will be
see
thinking...
for Grischuk is 43 seconds on the clock.
43 seconds.
Very, very hard
actually-
position.
I would actually think that this is the moment where you try to break in the center. I mean, when your opponent has not enough time.
You know, if you want, you can
King G2.
stay focused on this and then
Yeah,
you can jump the other game.
Wang Hao, yeah, probably is better, right? But I'm not sure if he's winning, as you said. Okay, he's definitely better. His pieces are much more active. But yeah, but since Grischuk is, I mean, he's playing on stage, he's very short on time, so I'm really, really curious to follow this one.
G4.
Yeah, G4, a typical time trouble move. What can I say?
That can be weakness, another weakness on the board.
Yeah, I mean, he's knight h4 is an option. Knight d2
92
is
and
our
h3
idea.
maybe later.
Yeah, but same with knight h4 and h3 because
Yeah.
I mean, knight is not good at the edge of the board, but this knight is heading to f5, so let's not forget. Knight goes to h4, yes. And yeah, and once again, a general advice. So be careful with moves like g4. Pawns are not moving backward, right?
Yeah.
Queen g5. Queen g5.
Maybe he has something in his mind. Some tricks.
f4. G
F4?
takes, queen takes. Yeah, I'd say it's logical. As long as the bishop is locked on a7, you want to open the game at the other side of the board. And don't know if you've seen
How many
this,
seconds?
this look.
20, less than 20 seconds for
Don't know if you've
Grischuk.
seen this look. I mean, it was look of desperation when Grischuk looked at his clock, and I mean, it was really
Less than 10
a fear in
seconds
his
on
eye.
the clock.
A
He has to
fear in
make a
his
move
eyes.
now.
He has to make a move. No, I mean, he's very experienced in playing on very limited time, but you know, it's still
Even classical games, he
yeah,
goes to
yeah,
1
it's
minute and then he starts
There's been
to
a lot
play.
of examples when even in classical games, yes, he does that very often. Let's see. Now, by the way, one thing to do for Anand could be just to take and play a check followed by knight f5. I mean, maybe this is not the maximum, let's say. Maybe this is not the maximum, but it still looks very, very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
As long as this bishop stays on a7. But I don't know if you've seen Vishy also is very, very nervous. I mean, the way he moved this queen to e2. Queen back to g5. So rook f1, perhaps? Because you want this knight to be on f5 sooner or later. Rook f1 played, yes. Rook f1. Terrible scenario for Grischuk. Now knight goes to f5 and
Knight f5.
king g8, I guess, right?
Oh wait, king g8 was already on the board.
King g8, knight f5, yeah, exactly. And still seconds for Alexander Grischuk. Well, if Vishy wins, he equals in points with Carson.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because then it's very dangerous for Magnus. Vishy has won the direct encounter. He was one of those two players who managed to win against Magnus Carlsen.
Wait a
Knight
moment.
f5. And the idea for Grischuk was to sacrifice an exchange on e4. Now that turns out to be an idea. So rook e4, and when rook takes e4, he wants to take on f5 with the bishop, which should be lost, to be honest, but still with bishop
He
on
made
a7
his last
being
move on 2 seconds.
on 2 seconds only. Yeah. Knight takes h6.
Queen takes
Well,
h6 and
Which he
rook
takes a
e4.
practical decision. He takes on h6, takes
He
on
takes
e4.
another pawn.
Yeah, he doesn't want. No, I mean he doesn't want to have an extra exchange. He simply wants this bishop to be completely out of the game, and he
has
wants a kingside
majority
attack.
on the king side.
Rook f4, rook g4 is a serious threat, and this knight, of course, gets much faster to a king side. King f8. Well, that's a good defensive resource. Grischuk is trying to. I mean, at least he's hoping to play rook e8.
What
chase
about
the
rook
queen.
e1?
Rook e1 is a good move.
Queen
Okay, queen
f6.
f6 or g5, maybe f6. Then maybe this is the moment you play. No, so still you don't want c4 to happen. You maybe lift the rook. But one day this knight a5, knight c6 will happen. Queen e4 played by... Ah no, wait. Queen...
Yeah, this is.
I mean rook e1.
We have
yeah.
this position.
Rook e1 and queen f6. Yes.
Rook
Queen
e2.
f6, rook to e2, just to make sure that the king's position is safe. And now, yeah, knight a5, knight to c6, and then maybe black's, yeah, well, bishop b6. So he stops. Grischuk has played bishop b6. He stops knight a5 at least. h4 from Vishy Anand. King back to g7. So what's now? Rook f2. Well, king g7 perhaps was too much. Rook f2. Rook to f5, threatening rook g5. King goes to f8. If only this knight could be brought somehow, then white would be immediately winning. If only this knight could have been, you know, like to put it on. Well, it still feels like terribly bad. h5. Yeah, the feeling is like Vishy feels he has very good
King
chance.
f3 maybe.
King f3, possible h5, he plays Smith with a tempo queen, returns to h7, and then he can start moving the g-pawn as well. And now this is a threat, rook e8 is a threat. Right, g4 played,
Yeah.
rook e8
And queen f3.
and queen f3. Still, the king is safe, he attacks the f7 pawn and he wants to play
Follows
g5.
by
yeah?
g5, g6.
Yeah, but now with e-file being open, this knight is also unlikely to come closer, right? So now, let's say we can split the board in half. On the king side, white is the pawn up, and he's definitely playing for win. And the queen side, more or less, neither side can touch, right? Black can never play c6. If white leaves with the knight, then he has to watch out for c4.
Vishy goes to
King g8, and then king goes to h3. Yeah, which is once again a good thing to do.
Rook
Rook to e1. Queen goes to f4. What's queen f4? Some h6 idea? Apparently he wants h6. And yeah, and Grischuk played few moves quickly, but
There is
he's
no
still...
h6. There is rook h1.
Ah, yeah, h6 is not a move. So then I don't know what he wants. Why queen wants to be on f4, g5. Yeah, it's amazing. He was on seconds, now it feels that he's thinking for eternity. King to f8, yeah, avoiding queen g5 check apparently. And queen g5 is played nevertheless. Check from... No, I mean, it's just too much. Just too much. Oh, well, queen g7 actually will trade the queens. Looks like Vishy happy with this. Vishy's happy with this as well. Which I'm not sure. No, queen h8. Queen h8, trying to activate the queen. Rook to f3. Oops. Rook to f3. Queen g7. Okay. Well, now white kinda has to trade queens. Which he takes. King takes there and g5. Yeah. Now the fact is that white in some positions can safely play knight e3, rook d1, and maybe that's the moment. Maybe that's the moment where white's going to play knight d3. Otherwise, I mean, that's perhaps the pawn you don't want to lose, right? Knight e3, then a check from h1 happens. King to g4, obviously. And c4.
c4.
So now knight f5 check and b takes is an extra pawn for Vishy Anand.
It is just happened. Knight f5. King goes to
f8. King to f8, bc4.
And still there's 5 minutes difference between them.
Knight h6 is a devastating threat. That's what I realize. Check on g1. Now...
King f...
No, he played rook g3. He has actually played rook g3, so he's... Yeah, being a pawn up, having this knight on f5. Of course, he does not mind going to this kind of endgame. And now what? g6? g6, just move your pawn. Fishy, just move your pawn.
Yes,
yeah, g6. Yes. g7, knight h... I mean, after rook c4 check, king goes to h3, the pawn cannot be stopped. 36 seconds for Grischuk, but once again, one of those positions where time is not an issue, and it looks like Vishy... Well, I'm amazed with his ability, you know, to come back all the time, once again and again and again. And when, I mean, a lot of people declared, like, okay, Vishy is too old, you know, Vishy is too old, Vishy will never play the same chess he used to. And here he is back, and he will be one of the leaders. He'll be one of the leaders going to the last round. Check, king h5, absolutely nothing can be done against
It's
g7.
only 2 moves.
Bishop d4 you can play, and then rook g4 wins a piece. Yeah, well, actually king h5 is a precise move. I just realized that king h5 is a precise move. Bishop d4 and rook g4. And that will be it. I think that will be it.
Oh, this phase. We've seen that already.
Yeah,
handshake. So Anand joins Carlsen.
Yeah, impressive victory from Vishy Anand. He equals in points with Magnus
10 points
Carlsen.
out of,
So it's a tie for the first place,
14.
and those two cannot play each other.